Alright, welcome back to Mythic Machines. As you see, we've already got the motor set in. I got it bolted down. I put on my harmonic balancer, my bottom crank pulley, and my fuel pump. And I'm now I just gotta get the rest bolted in, so get it all bolted in, get it all ready, and get this thing lit off. So, let's do a little time lapse of getting everything else bolted on and getting it all ready to start. First thing we need to do, headers. And before I put them in, you see I wrapped my headers so they're all nice wrapped up. Got a nice heat, got the fiberglass wrap on them, and they're all ready to go in. Alright, so I'm back. Last thing you saw was putting on another manifold. I got it up, put the bolts on, realized I was missing my socket. Alright, so this is what I lost. Little homemade ball tip Allen. So you know. It fell out of my toolbox and into the dirt. And after searching for about 3 hours, got out a magnet, tied a string to it, drug the yard with it. Old speaker magnet. Tied some wire to it. I had found on the floor. And then I just drug the yard with it. Wow. See? And you can find all kinds of modern old stuff. Old cotter pin, exhaust bracket, washer, little piece of the nail. So yeah, that's how my day went like yesterday. After all that, I put the radiator in, water pump. I put this bracket on, haven't tightened it down yet. Put the bottom hose on, haven't tightened it down yet. I got both of my exhaust manifolds on. I got them hooked up to my exhaust muffler. The rest of the exhaust, I got my starter in, and all that. Dogs and cats going crazy next door. So, last things I got left is my other bracket and the alternator. Then distributor, which is already on 18. And then after that, I'll put my torque converter bolted. So, just gotta hop up in there and get the rest of that taken off. And spark plug wires, and all that good stuff. Okay, so I'm going to prime the oil system. You do it two ways. You can do it with the oil pump through a little hand pump oil grease gun. You put oil in, you pump it through there. You take this fitting out, put a fitting in there. Then you can adapt that to there, or you can adapt it to the front. Now, not all 350s have this. This is mostly, I've only seen it on 4-bolt mains. So if you have a 4-bolt main, you most likely have this, the oil galley plug right there. Now, so I got my tool on there. I'm just gonna, and the oil's coming out of it. I got a pretty good prime right there. Now I'm gonna put my sensor, my gauge connector back on. Alright, so I put my oil gauge back on. Got it tightened up. Give it some more spinning. You can see it fills up with oil. And my drill has died. Yeah, you'll spin it for a minute or two, let it pump oil fall through it, and you're good. And that is priming your oil. What's extremely important on fresh rebuilt 350s and engines that have been sitting for a very long time. So a couple of years without firing up or anything, always suggest priming the oil again. Now, you might not think it's important, but your bearings will thank you. So all it takes is for them to dry out. It'll take a few minutes before it starts getting oil pumping through it. Once you start it up, and by that time you can wipe out your bearings. And then you're rebuilding the engine instead of driving. Alright, and then the tool that I use to prime it is quite simple. It is just a flathead screwdriver shaft. So I had a long flathead screwdriver. I cut the handle off, and I just use the rest of it that I need to make it down to the pump shaft. That, and then I put a 9/16 socket that goes over the shaft. The reason for the socket and flathead combo is because the socket will go over the oil pump and lock it on over, and the flathead goes into the slit cut that has the where the distributor slides into to actually make it turn. You gotta use both and together, because if you try and use it without the socket, it doesn't stay on the pump when you're trying spinning with the drill. But that's my little tool I use to prime my oil, my engine. So after you get your oil primed up, you're ready to put your distributor back in, and so what you have to do is you see the oil pump shaft right down there in the hole. Right there, the little flathead deal in the middle there, that's your oil pump shaft. So you have to, so I use the screwdriver that I have to correctly position the oil pump shaft, so that slot slides right into the bottom of the distributor you put in, so it goes all the way down, and it's perfect, and it's all good and ready. Alright, so see there the distributor in, you see it's not all the way down against the blue gasket there, so you know you're not lined up correctly. So I'm going to pull it back out. I'm going to move it just a little bit more so it lines up correctly and sits all the way down on that gasket. So this is what you want to see. You'll see that your oil pump shaft is in your distributor when it's all the way flush against the gasket like that on the bottom there. Now it's a little hard to see with the flashlight, but see, it's all the way down. That's what you want. And after that, you're all ready to put the rest of it back together. At this point, I'm sure you noticed the horrible audio quality I had in this video. That's because I dropped my mic in an oil pan last episode I did. It wasn't on film or anything, so choose to believe me or not. That's up to you. But, so what we're doing, I'm loosening up the distributor, and we're about ready to start it up so I could adjust the cam, and we run it and do the cam break-in. Now, I'm going to show you here, when you do the cam break-in, you have to run it for about 30 minutes, or for 30 minutes or longer, at above around, I'll just show you, let me show you the paper here. Alright, so I bring it up to the camera here to show you in the last direction that says, do not allow the engine to run less than 1500 RPM during the first 30 minutes of operation. Do the cam break-in, so we keep it up around 2 to 2500 to do our cam break-in. But as you see, it does not go too well. So the sound you heard, as you see in my video, that it's running, that's what my mic picked up, so that's why I have to do a voiceover now, and I'm going to tell you what's happening. So we had it running for about 2 minutes right now. I see I'm adjusting the idle a little bit. Well, I have my timing light on. When I checked it, it was running at 8 degrees, and not thinking about it, 8 degrees at 2500 RPM is not good. It's quite retarded, so I'm superheating my headers. Now you can't see it on this side, but if it is on the other side, you'll see that my right header is glowing red right now. So it's like getting way too hot, and eventually here I'm going to tell my brother to shut it off, and then so you can see it starts smoking real bad there. It just caught on fire. My header just caught on fire, or the right side did. And I tell him to shut it off, or not yet. You see right there, I have him shut it off. It starts smoking real bad. It caught on fire. So what caught on fire was the fiberglass wrapping I put on it. So it smokes at the beginning because it has the cure on it, and it has the silicone spray. So you see, run over there, grab the fire extinguisher, put the fire out underneath, which isn't too bad or anything. It just cooked the wrapping real bad. Nothing else got hurt or damaged, so we're all good there. But that was my fun experience of doing cam break-in for the first time. So make sure you do the timing on it, or you set the timing as you're doing the cam break-in so you don't have that issue, like I did. But that was my rookie mistake, and that's how I almost burnt down my truck. So I'll show you here in a second. Like, I'm going to grab the camera right now. I'm going to bring you down over to what caught on fire, and I'll show you that the fire extinguisher put out. So I'll show you down there. It's glowing red hot. You see it actually looks pretty cooked. I'll show you down below here how to put out the fire extinguisher and keep one on the forklift that we use. You see down here, so that's what caught on fire. So my bottom collector right there, it got superheated, and there was probably a little bit of oil from when I filled it up that was on it, and that caught on fire. But nothing got hurt through it. It didn't burn for a whole 3 seconds or 10 seconds probably. Put it out. No damages, no injury, other than a little cooked fiberglass. Alright, so this is how we're going to adjust our valves now. So I did it first time, recommended way. Now we're going to do it right. So we're going to start it, going to run it idle. I'm going to back each lifter off until it starts chattering, and then I'm going to tighten it down to a stop, and I'm going to go a quarter turn more. And that's going to be our final adjustment until about 100 hours, and then we're going to do it again. Or not 100, 100 miles, and then we're going to do it again. adjust them again. At that point, supercharger would be on if you're looking at a problem. So we're going to get adjusted, then we're going to get everything put together. All right, now talking, let's adjust them. Well, I'm going to start the baby up. All right, so it stops chattering right there. We go corner turn more, and that's it. So you're knocking. Stops right there. Turn more. Chattering. Stop right there, and then turn more. Stop right there, and turn more. Stop right there. Stop right there, and turn more. Stop right there, and turn more. Stop it there, turn more. All right, so that was adjusting this side. Now I'm going to put the side back together. I'm going to flip over the other side and see how quick and painless it is to do adjustment on this. When you're just adjusting the valves, it's quite simple. It's quite easy to do when it's running. So I just slowly backed it off until it started chattering. Little what the noise is making. Then you tighten it up till it stops. And then you do another corner turn, and that is your final, that's your adjustment. So with that, we could take our oily box out of there, try not to get oil everywhere. Set it over here. And that's how I adjusted the valves while I was running. Sorry, and again, sorry for the terrible audio quality that I had this episode. My mic messed up, and I'm not too good with editing audio. But nonetheless, thank you for watching, and as always, if you'd be so kind to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, and I'm going to leave you here with the video of my truck, me driving my truck down the street and back. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you again, and you get to hear the truck somewhat go vroom vroom. It's quite quiet because the mic messed up, but other than that, I think it sounded pretty good. Thank you again, and hope you enjoy. Yeah, I know. It really sucks that my window got cracked. I have no idea how that happened. It's even on the inside, and I don't know what the hell hit. It really sucks, but it's life. You move on.